Welcome to Gunners Are Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
You notice I said positively different.
Did you?
I said positively. Usually I go positively Arsenal.
And what did you say this time?
Positively Arsenal.
Oh.
Do you know why? Been a weird week. I don't know how to feel about it.
Hey, it's been a very strange week. And I think we'll probably get to what people are probably here to hear about, which is the Villa game. We're going to get to that pretty soon.
Okay.
But straight off the bat, obviously follow us over on the Brother Zora on YouTube to see the visual of this, but make sure you're subscribed, 5-star review to this podcast here on iTunes or Spotify or Google Pods, wherever you get your pods. So
you're very good at that stuff.
Hey, it's all those years at TWS. What I will say is this. We need to crack on with the Villa game, but the game did happen late last night. A PSV game. It's not much to write home about. A couple little notable moments. We drew a PSV away. It was a completely insequential game.
Yep. Beforehand and during and after.
I've not. So I keep saying so. So an Arsenal match day to me is I'm quite excited. I'll listen to a few preview pods and I'll do some things like that. And I'll get genuinely excited about watching the game.
Yeah.
And then I put on an outfit.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds really weird.
Got to dress up.
I put up that this year's jersey I wear. And then I wear my granddad's cap. And then a free scarf I got from a couple of years ago.
I like that combo.
Yeah. I have to wear this because I started last year and it worked very well, obviously, because we know what happened last year.
Yeah.
And it's continued into this year. So I still can't break this tradition. So I'm wearing that. That is my usual day. And then I'll sit in a certain spot and I'll watch the game. Last night's game.
Yeah.
I watched it in a different room. We missed the start because we were recording another podcast, the Peppercorn Boys. Go search that on iTunes or Google Pods or Spotify, wherever you get them. And we missed a little bit of the start. We started eating during this first half. The dog was barking, so I sat with him for a while. Then I watched in that spot for about 10 minutes. Then halftime, I watched upstairs in a different room. And then I just watched the second half upstairs because the dog was happier. Luke, I don't know why I was there. Lucas Podolski, we call it.
Yeah. If we do get to the Champions League final, can we not do it like that?
I don't think it will. And I don't think since the Europa Cup, I haven't watched a game that bitterly, or just not that bothered. And it shows you how far we've come because obviously the Europa Cup, we were actively trying to win and it felt like that at times. Whereas that game was a tough one because you could tell that we didn't want anyone to get injured.
Yeah.
El Nani unfortunately got injured, which could be a tie into the ACL injury.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get thighs and hamstrings straight after ACLs because obviously you're overcompensating and the tightness and
lack of game time and age.
Yeah, and it looked like a chilly game. It just looked like an awkward game. PSV needed to win realistically because they didn't know what Lons were going to do, and in the end, Lons won.
Yeah.
So if Lons had won 2-1 or 3-1, and we had won 2-1 or 3-1, they were out. So it was very much there to play for. In the league, they played 15, won 15, drawn none, lost none. That was a tough place to go. They haven't lost there in a long time. To European opposition, it's an awkward game. We put out two strong centre backs and Havertz, and then the rest were kind of the others,
bit parts.
Yeah, to an extent. I think we all wanted to see Raul Walters play or Lewis Skelly or someone like that, just to give you a real reason to watch. Of just we need to see how they're getting on.
Yeah,
because instead it became the Nelson show, didn't it? And his numbers are fantastic.
He always
impresses, and he at 23, he shouldn't be the guy we're watching on those nights. I think he should be someone who should be playing more anyway.
He's only 23.
Nelson is, yeah.
Wow.
He might be younger than that. Might be 22, but it became about that, and it shouldn't have been. It should have been about the 16, 17-year-olds that have been waiting to kind of have their day in the sun.
Yeah.
But so it was an odd one. So there was not much interest in it because it didn't matter if we won or lost. We didn't want to lose 2 in a row because obviously we're going to get to that Villa game at the weekend.
Well, you never want to lose anyway, like for momentum.
Yeah, and on paper, I'd say going away at PSV, a team that are unbeaten in the league this year, to go with that squad, and obviously we ended up bringing us the top players, but to get a draw and just nothing to write home about other than El Nani injury, I'll take that. I would have taken that yesterday, so as hard a watch as it was, because it was just dull.
Even if we played like our starting 11, I think a draw away to PSV in the Champions League, the way they're playing at the minute isn't too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the fact they needed to win did show a little bit in the game because obviously we had a depleted team. They seemed like they were on the front foot a few times more than we were. So it kind of played out exactly how it would have played, really,
Yeah.
for both teams. On a side note, though, because of your outfit, I have the opposite issue. I've refused to wear an Arsenal shirt for Arsenal
That
games
is
for the
true,
last
yeah.
couple seasons because of how good last season went.
Yeah.
The one time I wore one last season was the retro goalkeeping shirt
Yeah.
that I've got. And I wore it for the Lisbon game. I think I've talked about it on here before,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
we went out of Europe.
Yeah.
One time I've worn an Arsenal shirt in the last 2 seasons. Last night, I popped on an old Arsenal shirt,
Yeah.
and it was quite a dull game.
Yeah.
I feel like I got to stick to this
Yeah. Because
because
don't wear that during the knockouts. I'll say that.
I'm definitely not going to. I'll be terrified.
Because if you think about it, like when you break it down to what we're going into, which is knockouts, PSV, if we draw 1-1 and then we're at home, what do we win? 3-0? 4-0?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're trying to do in the knockouts, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, if you were to beat Madrid 3-0 at home and draw 1-1, that'd be very good.
Yeah.
But realistically, even with the teams like that we could get, like Inter Milan, Copenhagen, Napoli, there's other teams that Leipzig, there's other teams that are going to drop into it tonight as well.
Yeah.
But there's some awkward ones in there. But I mean, if you get a Copenhagen, Man United showed the kind of issues you could get caused. So to get that kind of team to go away to an awkward ground like Copenhagen is a very big atmosphere and get a 1-1 like that with even in knockouts, a slightly different team because you don't want to get anyone injured.
No.
You have the league still to play, the FA Cup, things like that. So it's going to be interesting. And I can't wait for that draw just to see what we're going to get because I almost want to get through one more round with a team that obviously I don't want to go out to a team that I think we should go against. Like if you get Copenhagen and then go out, it'd be so much more upsetting than if we got PSG straight off the bat and then went out.
I'm torn.
But I want an easier team to get through to that quarters. And once we're in the quarters, I want those big Champions League nights at the Emirates. The flags are flying.
Yeah.
Like I said, the sun's still kind of going down in the first half. PSG, Real Madrid, those kind of teams. I think we can beat everyone there over 2 legs on our day.
Well, I think, like you said last night, this is the first time in years that we've seen an Arsenal team that could potentially go up against any of these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, even Real Madrid struggled with Union Berlin last night a little bit.
Yeah.
They had to
Did Real Madrid play?
Yeah, they played Union Berlin.
I don't think I saw any of the other results.
I watched it this morning, the highlights, and they got a last minute winner by Dani Ceballos.
Of course.
And Union Berlin were very much in the game. I don't know if Real Madrid...
Ceballos was playing, so I assume
it was slightly defeated. Yeah, Jude Bellingham was out there.
Yeah. It's so tough. It's so tough to know what teams are doing at this point. But even when you watch the whole competition so far, you've seen that City have struggled at times with Leipzig's and Young Boys.
Yeah.
With their first team, and they've gone down a man or gone down a goal and then had to come back.
Yeah.
Madrid have struggled. Munich have struggled. They haven't struggled. They've absolutely creamed their opposition in that league. But it hasn't been overly impressive. No. I think you could see it like that Munich side that played last night was a strength side really against Man United. Man United were, in the game the whole game until the goal. I just think that last time we were in the Champions League, and majority of my adult life, we've always been, if we can avoid Bayern Munich, Barcelona, PSG, Liverpool, Man United, all these teams we have to kind of avoid because we know we're going to win. We're going to lose 10-0, 10-2 over 2 legs.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I don't think there's anyone that will be as 10-2. They might because of, you might go down to 9 men or something bizarre might happen.
You never know. Game state could be weird or something.
Yeah, but realistically, Man City are the best team in there.
Yeah.
Then it's probably Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and then us.
Yeah.
I think over 2 legs, if Bayern Munich, we could go to Bayern Munich and potentially get a goal. Man United scored 3, I think, at Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
I think they lost 4-3, 4-2, something like that.
Yeah.
We could, that over 2 legs, that's not the end of the world because you lose 4-3. There's no away goals anymore, I don't believe. But you scored 3 goals. You're in the tie. It's essentially losing 1-0.
Yeah.
And then go to the Emirates. On our day, I think we could beat Man City at the Emirates this year.
Yeah.
We've outplayed Man City before at the Emirates. We've outplayed them at the Etihad before. I think now it's got to a point where whoever we get, we're in the tie for sure.
Yeah.
And therefore you're likely to have a run.
Yeah.
Again, anything can happen. We could get the worst team possible in that first round. We go down to 10 men early, lose 3-0 away from home because of game state, like Joe said. And then you're out. But
it's all very much to play for. I think we have a lot of PTSD from past seasons.
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich in general, but just past seasons. But I think everyone's very much sleeping on what this Arsenal team is capable of now. Like how solid they are, how little they concede. Yeah, like I think with the Champions League and the two-leg thing, I think with the least amount of attempts that we concede, this is very good. Like, and we've never experienced this. Even the Arsenal team with Wenger, it was very back and forth. It was like a tennis match, and then we had that one good season where we managed to get through some big names and some plucky underdogs to get to the final. But we've never experienced this, and this will be the first time we see how this team and how Arteta's got it set up fares with this kind of setup. And I think, on paper, like even seeing how all the other big teams are playing, we're very much the favourites.
Yeah, I think we're in the top. I think there's about 4 teams that are probably equal favourites. Maybe 3 teams, us, Madrid, and Munich. Then City are just above us, potentially, because they are just so good. But again, if you're watching City in the league, they're stumbling and, they do this. But I do think retrospectively, people are kind of saying Man City do this every year. They don't do it to the level they're doing it this year because it's gone a bit long. We're near Christmas.
Yeah.
It's usually, the end of August, a bit September, start of October, they're drawing, win, loss, draw, win, loss. And then they go win, right through to the end of the season.
It's like they're trying to figure it out and then they figure it out.
And again, they've had an average start. Liverpool and Arsenal have had a good start. There's 3 points difference.
Yeah.
So it's, the league's not beyond them in any way, but they just they're not quite, they do look like they've got a hangover. And in the Champions League, that might happen, or they might be absolutely destroying the league by the time it gets to the semis and the quarters and they just walk through everyone.
Yeah.
And again, same as Arsenal, we could be at a point where we're depleted squad by the time it gets to quarterfinals and semifinals.
Yeah.
Because I think the next round is February.
Yeah.
So we're not going to play in the Champions League for another 2 months. Obviously, by then, Tomiyasu, Partey, Timber should all be back.
Yep.
That would be very helpful.
But touch wood, we don't.
No one else,
we don't lose any really key players.
Exactly, but I do think we got to go for Europe. I think I'd love to see like a good run, and a part of that is obviously the referees. So we're going to move on to Aston Villa versus Arsenal, which was a very. I'll say this.
Yep.
There's talking points.
Okay, yeah,
there's some talking points. Firstly, because I've been thinking about this because obviously if I recorded this podcast on Saturday, which I did record a podcast, the preview one.
Yeah.
It would be a little different to now.
Oh, yeah.
The sentiment is still the same, but I think I could explain it better.
Yeah.
So before we get into the referees, I would say that Villa scored a very nice opening goal.
Oh, yeah.
The opening goal is, they called it pure Emery ball, which again, as an Arsenal fan, I think there's this theory that Arsenal fans hated Emery. Yeah. I don't think any of us hated Emery. I think it just wasn't the right fit at the right time.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. But I liked Emery. I thought he's a good coach. He's very. We knew he was good, but we said even at the time, he was perfect at Sevilla. He's perfect at Villarreal. He wasn't good at PSG. Wasn't good at Arsenal. Then he's gone to Villa and he's really good.
Yeah,
his level is overachieving with a really good team.
Yeah,
and coaching them really well above that point because a lot of his stuff is based on really intense teachings.
Yeah,
and to try and get PSG to be. This is why Arsenal are doing quite well. To explain to higher paid talent, like a PSG's way beyond Arsenal, but a big team with big talent and big money, to explain to them we need to get the offside trap so perfect to an inch, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They want to allow their talents to just kind of deal with everything.
Yeah.
So when you go to a Villarreal or a Villa or somewhere like that, they will listen. And if they get results, they'll keep listening and they'll work really hard. So he's a perfect team for that kind of. He's a perfect manager for that kind of team. That first goal, if you remember under Emery, we scored about 3 or 4 of those exact looking goals from front to back, really nice, but they were real. You had to pick them out.
Yeah,
there wasn't many of them.
No, you take your chances.
On the odd occasion, it all came together. And we went, "Wow, is he a really good coach?" Yeah. And then the next game, you go, "We just faced 30 shots on our goal," and I think in this one game, he showed every side of Emery.
Yeah,
because. The goal was fantastic. Really nice goal, John McGinn. I think Ben White has to be better slightly. He's not tight enough on that.
Yeah.
But again, for a goal that good from team, I think it's just a goal. From that point of that goal, which was, 5 minutes in or something, we just completely obliterated them.
Yeah.
And this is the other side of Emery, was our issue when we had him as a coach, was high line, danger, panic, and we'll just concede a million shots on our goal, and that's fine, apparently. And eventually that comes up because we went on a 24-game unbeaten run. There's a Villa very similar, especially at home. And then all of a sudden, all those shots started to go in because probability just works like that. And then all of a sudden, everyone turned on the manager. I do see that coming for Villa because the high line they played was very similar to Ange Ball against Chelsea. And it was frustrating to watch because we explained it on this podcast. The easiest thing ever to deal with is a high line like that. But you have to use deep runners. I knew that watching the Chelsea-Tottenham game. I knew that at the weekend. It's frustrating when, especially our manager was up in the stands, so he could see this. And I'm sure he said it because after half-time we were doing it. The deep runs are what you need to do. You can't just have Martinelli on the last man because you're going to get caught offside. You have to run 10 yards deep and have the defender turning on the weighted ball. And we started to, like, Saka got in on one that VAR overturned goal. Again, we never saw the lines on that one, but it did look offside. Martinelli got in, knocked it over the keeper, and it was cleared off the line. We got a couple cutbacks to Martinelli, to Martin Odegaard in the game. He ballooned one wide. The other one, he took 3 or 4 touches, and you thought every touch he took, you thought more likely to get a goal here. And then Martinez just completely read him and just caught it to the right. Those show you on any other day, like the XG, I think was us to win 3-0, and we lost 1-0. So on any other day, I think we do just cruise that. And it was annoying because it wasn't just a point drop. I think it was 3 points drop because they were out on their feet. They were knackered from the City game, and we just couldn't do it. And I think that is 100% on us because our finishing just wasn't cutthroat enough. It was like watching a team knowing that we could walk it in the net at any point and deciding not to. That's how it felt to me.
We feel like we've seen a few of these from Arsenal over the years. I don't know what it is, but there's a lack sometimes of cutthroat in front of goal. We've always had this issue, no matter who's playing, which is wild because Odegaard, 9 times out of 10 with that cutback, just
perfect.
First time, even bobbling, he'll just side foot it straight in. I think it's just one of those games.
Well, I said it like midway through the game before any suspect decisions happened. They'd scored that really good goal. We were all over them. And I was talking to Lewis, Elton Prince of WWE fame. And he was saying that we didn't deserve the game. He was like, I love Arsenal. He said, but they're just rolling around. And he was like, it's so hard to watch. And I'm seeing the awkward tackles and the annoyance of constant tackles
from our side.
From our side. And he's somewhat of an Arsenal fan or an old Arsenal fan. He's more West Ham and Southend and stuff. But he was like, it is so hard to watch because every touch they're going down and grabbing their ankles and all these things. And he said at the end, he was like, Villa deserved that win. He said the end decision is an awful decision. But he said, but it didn't really matter because Villa deserved to win. And I said to him, I was like, I get it because I could see the sentiment. They didn't deserve it because we didn't finish our chances. But the other side of it, when you look at XG, field tilt, domination, possession, shots on goal, shots on target, just general touches in the opposition's box, we absolutely destroyed them. Like badly.
The stats show,
But something about it does tell you we didn't deserve the win. Because again, it came down to a few odd decisions. But it was very reminiscent to 3 or 4 weeks ago when we played at 5:30 and we lost to Newcastle. The 2 losses this year are very similar, but the difference are at Newcastle, we didn't deserve to win. We didn't do anything. We didn't create chances, nor did they.
No.
But they created one and it was a goal and it shouldn't have been a goal. And again, that ref now has come out and said I should have blown up for a foul after the fact so that VAR couldn't overturn that. And we'll get to all that kind of that silly position that they've put themselves in. Then on this one is the like kind of reverse of it. We've done a goal exactly like Newcastle. And they've blown up and given a foul so they can't overturn it. So we kind of missed out on both opportunities. But, you know, Jesus should have a pen because if you'd watched the game earlier on Palace, they got the exact same one. This is the issue with the decisions. And it is inconsistency. It's not an Arsenal bias. It's not a refs. There's a conspiracy theory. No one's out to get anyone. It's an inconsistency that is really frustrating. And at the minute, this season, Arsenal are getting the brunt on the negative side. Again, most people would say swings and roundabouts. By the end of the season, it'll swing and we'll get a few. And we won't think about them because you remember the ones that go against you, not the ones that for you. But the only thing I'd say is there's no one else is getting apologies when they're facing Arsenal, whereas we keep getting apologies. So something is going wrong. It's not at Arsenal. It's just we keep ending up in the worst positions at the worst times.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool, for example, had that awful game, and then since they've had some sus decisions.
Yeah.
Swings and roundabouts. We're waiting for that turn, and I'd love that turn. And again, that's why I speak like that of it is managers will speak and they will say, we want the refs to be better.
Yeah.
But what they really mean is we want them to give us decisions.
Yeah.
Because they're biased.
Yeah.
Because their jobs rely on it. Their whole week is planned around winning. Ours aren't. We're just fans. And as football fans, I watch all football.
Yeah.
I watch Arsenal games and I watch everything else. I want to see good decisions.
Yeah, because it bugs us for the whole week then.
Yeah, because it's, and the inconsistency is what hurts more. Like if Arsenal got like that, let's say that last goal happens, but then it happens in every other game.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that bad about it because everyone's getting the same thing.
Yeah.
It's when you start feeling hard done by as a team or a fan. Oh, that was just given in the other game. Why are we not getting it? And then the next game you do it and you give away a penalty and you go, but we didn't get it. That's when the frustration comes. It's not the actual one decision. It's the follow-on of the inconsistencies.
Well, the inconsistencies even plays out on the day it happens as well, because it somehow happens in one game.
Yeah, it's like they write it to be purposely annoying.
Bizarre, yeah. Like I think even with the Newcastle goal, when the ball allegedly, we don't know, went out or didn't go out, and then in the United game, I think they had the same issue, but it was the opposite way around.
Yeah, and they got hard. Like Man United missed out on a goal because of it, and then Newcastle gained. So take away your Arsenal's issue from that. Man United are annoyed, and I've seen all the Man United fans online talk about it. Why was our goal taken away, but theirs wasn't?
Yeah.
That is what causes the pain of a fan, because you're going, if they just gave them both out or gave them both in, you'd just be like, if you disagree with it, you disagree with it, but at least they're giving it the same everywhere.
Or at least have stuff in place, like sensors, things that make it way more black and white, just so that, because like you said, all the work you put in a week to get to that game, it's taken out of your hands.
Yeah. It's tough because I think if they brought the sensors in for the offside, which they chose against, that does every inch, because obviously you can be offside on the goal line, like just like an inch from the goal line. So therefore, they would be able to use those sensors to see if a ball has gone out of play.
Yeah.
And all of this takes, I don't have they're going to bring it in next year, because I think everyone's going to realize how bad it got this year, because this year particularly is definitely the worst of our year we've had. But the sensors would clear up going out of play, which is being brought up twice this season.
Yeah.
He'll clear up all offsides, like Man United fans still upset about the Garnacho goal, things like that. That, again, this is what I'm saying about the decisions is with the offsides, we all think it's a little bit sus.
Yeah.
Something doesn't seem right about it. Like we just kind of, they're telling us the ergonomics are correct and they can figure it out, but nothing looks right about it. And sometimes you think that doesn't look right. Sometimes you go, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like, for example, the Saka goal the other day, it was marginal, but they looked at it once and within 5 seconds they said, no, it was offside.
Yeah.
They never checked it with the lines, because we know the lines take a minute to do.
Yeah.
They didn't check it. But some weeks they'll check one that is not that marginal, and then all of a sudden you're going, oh my God, it's really close, and it gets close, and all of a sudden it's a goal.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are we choosing when to look at it? Again, the inconsistencies.
Like I said before on a past podcast, I don't know how I feel about how transparent they're being with everything, because I don't know if that raises more problems. Like if they sent it away to a room and we didn't see anything, and then they give us the answer. Like before they've shown us all this transparency wise, let's say from the get-go, it was always, okay, we're going to VAR.
Yeah.
They look at it. We don't see anything. And then VAR says, oh yeah, this is this. And then we accept it. Like, because it's just facts. Like we have to. I don't know if that's better than transparency.
Yeah, because we're kind of seeing how the sausage is made and it's awful.
Yeah, because sometimes they're telling us like, oh, this is offside. And we're looking at it going,
no, it's not.
It's not.
Well, the perfect example, we'll jump to it because there's a couple of things. The goal is what we'll talk about, the lack of goal, the Havertz goal on the 90th minute, whatever it was. They've released the audio now. And they've conveniently, and it's caused a lot of uproar, they've left out a period of it.
Yeah.
Which is always a bit sus when they're trying to give you that transparency and then they've kind of purposely avoided a bit.
Yeah.
When the ball comes in, Havertz knocks it back at Cash.
Yeah.
And it hits his arm.
Yeah.
That's the first handball.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it comes back at Havertz. It hits him in the chest. Then there's like a scramble. Then it goes up and it hits Matt Cash's forearm.
Yeah.
Then it bumps up and then we don't know. But the audio, the guy in the VAR, he watches it maybe 20 times.
Yeah.
And he goes, I can't find a handball.
Yeah.
And So he goes, we can't overturn it then. Because the ref somehow saw the handball that you couldn't find in 30 replays.
Yeah.
And if you look at the ref, his view is he's behind 3 players.
Yeah.
Supposedly, he saw a handball through 3 players that a guy and a team of people and all of us watching 30 replays couldn't see.
Yeah.
He saw in real time. And my issue is, I don't mind refs having decisions to make. My issue comes with, and we spoke about this last night, VAR has got it all wrong with the way in which they do things.
Yeah.
That ref couldn't wait to take away that goal. There's no reason to. Like, same this, a referee watched that Newcastle goal. The ball went out of play. Then the ball comes in. Then there's a clear push in the back. Then it's offside.
Yeah, on field, they could probably see something's up.
Yeah, the ref in his head was like, this one was the same. He kind of, if you watched it, you just went, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the ref's done. He's got something's wrong, blown up, and thought, I can't just allow that. We're in the 90th minute.
Yeah.
I can't just give that goal. But the thing is, he should. Because what should happen, like every other sport in the NFL, when you look at the rugby league, anything rugby league, I don't know why, just league, but rugby, even cricket, don't give a decision on the field. Just stop play.
Yeah.
And then let them figure it out. So there's no bias towards, he's already given it, so I can't overturn it. So the reason I say that is because they've made this ruling that, it has to be clear and obvious to overturn anything. If he doesn't give that, by the way, on the field, if he just holds his hand up and then it goes to VAR don't overturn it because they can't find anything wrong with it.
Which is what you think they're supposed to do.
Well, that's what you do in any sport.
Yeah.
Any scoring drive is reviewed or anything like that. But don't give them a reason. So he's blowing that whistle, basically saying is, I think there's a handball.
Yeah.
Now prove me wrong. They can't. All right, we can't overturn it, even though we can see there's no handball. It's such a pedantic rule that they've put in there that they're strict, same as the Liverpool one, but they couldn't bring it back. Once he said check complete, they were like, we can't go behind the word check complete.
Yeah.
Once they've said check complete, we can't go back on ourselves. Why not? Common sense. You've made a mistake. Just stop it again and go, no, it was a goal.
In any job, if you make a mistake, then you look into the mistake and can't find anything. But then 5 seconds later, you see a mistake. You always go back and sort it. Like no matter what, sort the mistake out.
If a doctor's doing surgery on your arm, but then halfway through he realizes it was supposed to be his leg, he doesn't go, but I've already started, I'll finish the arm. There was nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like that rule is what I think is wrong with VAR. And I think that is causing the biggest issue because the Newcastle goal, if he just lets that go in and they can just not overturn it because it's clear and obvious, they just watch the goal and go, there's a push in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know if it went out of play because we don't have the sensors, but there's a clear push in the back. This will cover it all.
Yeah.
No goal. People would have gone, okay, fair. There was a push in the back.
Yeah.
This one, if he doesn't give anything, he goes, I can't find anything wrong with it. It's a goal. The annoying thing is we've ended up on the bad side of both of that rule.
Yeah.
And it hasn't benefited us either time.
Yeah.
And the reason Arsenal fans are particularly annoyed is because obviously last year we had a phantom goal like Liverpool had this year. By the way, everyone threw out the toys at the pram saying, what if this was in the running? It did happen in the running last year. The other rule on this one that people are really upset about is that no one knows if Havertz or Eddie kicked it in.
Yeah.
They still don't know for sure. It looks like Havertz because he runs away.
It does seem like Havertz is the one that pops it in, yeah.
But they don't check this. So the ruling is if Havertz handballs it in and Eddie kicks it in, they can't get rid of the goal anyway.
Yeah.
Because in the run-in last year, Declan Rice handballed the ball, passed it to Antonio, he scored, and it ruined our run-in. So they said, we know it's a handball, but because he didn't score the goal, it's not a foul.
So back to the transparency. Howard Webb and Michael Owen obviously watched all this, which is really helpful. If you're going to be transparent, that show is very helpful.
It is. It feels a bit propaganda-y, like it's just kind of...
Howard Webb definitely...
Because Howard Webb doesn't believe anything's gone wrong this season.
He definitely sides with the officials, but I understand why he does.
Well, he's the head of them.
He has to. But he does explain it quite well on there. But again, Michael Owen always raises the point of like, this is wrong. Something has to change. And he is very fair in saying, yes, like the rule was in place, like he said about the because Michael Owen brought up why is it okay for one and not the other? Like Cash handballs it first, technically. And he said 5 years ago, obviously it changed where it is different for the defender. If a goal's scored by someone who handballs it and not the guy, obviously, who doesn't score it or something like that, like with the assist, it's different. And he did admit on there, it's very grey and it's a little bit too problematic.
And the thing I'd say is the annoyance from there, because Matty Cash one, because he handballs it first. They never check that. And that's what I was saying about the VAR audio that they choose.
Yeah.
Is beyond the point where Matty Cash handballs it.
I feel like, though, like we've said, VAR should check everything.
Yeah.
Let the goal happen. VAR checks everything just to make sure everything's all good with it.
Yeah.
But the problem is the wording the ref uses when the goal goes in, he says, I'm looking for an attacker handball.
Yeah.
So I think that eliminates
looking for the Matty Cash.
Because one of the VAR guys keeps saying, we're looking for a Havertz handball. We're looking for a Havertz handball. So he's saying to them, don't look at the Cash one.
And that is the issue with was like, I guess that is the exact thing that we're saying, which is if the ref gives a decision, they have to look for that decision, not for just look at the goal objectively and go, yeah, it's fine.
But once the ref says that, it eliminates that. So I think he's immediately eliminated the potential of a Cash handball and gone straight to what they have to look at. And Howard Webb said it on there as well. They want it to be majority in the hands of the on-field ref. They want VAR to only do what the ref asks.
Yeah, and that's why I think that part is what needs to go. I think the whole respect that one ref is stop worrying about that on-field ref because of tradition of football ever. Let's just start going, let's get all the decisions right.
Yeah.
Because we all know what the right decision is. For example, Romero did a foul against Newcastle.
Yeah.
It's a clear red. The commentators knew it. We all knew it. Anyone watching a Spurs fan would know it. They just don't want him to get sent.
It gets worse every time you see it as well.
And then they watch it and go, nah, it's a booking. But then you watch, who was it? Conor Gallagher's red.
Oh, yeah.
And you go, nah, that's not a red. And then he gave it red. Why? So that's not benefited Chelsea, but it's massively benefited Spurs. And this isn't the first time it's massively benefited Spurs this season. And again, that's not they're trying really hard to get Spurs to do well.
No.
It's just they keep benefiting from bad decisions.
And like I think you pointed out last night, there is something to certain refs in certain games when a referee. So every game is refereed differently.
That Arsenal Villa game, he was letting everything go and he really didn't mind people having a scrap.
Yeah.
And that was known from the get-go. And that is the reason why Luca Dean was booked for a bad tackle. And then later in the game went absolutely through the back of Saka late and there was no second booking.
Yeah.
And he kind of set that tone. I don't think anything we would have done would have got a red card either.
No.
And a perfect example was, is it Diego Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos.
He forearms Nketiah in the face and they chose forearm because that is what he did. For no apparent reason, off the ball. And they check it. And it's very similar to the Bruno Guimaraes. This is why this game is so bizarrely similar to this Villa game.
Yeah.
And they said he's forearmed him in the back of the head, but it's not the elbow, so therefore it's not a weapon. That was their wording.
Yeah. Same
exact wording happened again. He forearms him in the face.
Yeah.
It's not his elbow, so therefore it's not a weapon.
Not even
here's the issue I have. Casemiro lightly places his hand by someone's chest and neck area.
Yeah.
Doesn't grab it, just puts it on there. Xhaka did it as well and got sent off for it. But this guy can just forearm someone in the back of the head, which in UFC is illegal. And it's fine. But Casemiro touches someone's chest and that's a red card. I don't understand what they see as a red. And I don't get why, for whatever reason in football, they value people's legs higher than their brains.
Yeah.
So someone will just punch someone in the back of the head or like headed them, like elbow them on the way up. And they're like, yeah, it's just tough, isn't it? And then someone will like slightly go over the ball and just graze the guy's shin. And like, oh my God, this has to go. It's like, you just grazed his shin.
I think because they're being too grey with it, like we said before. I think you've got to be able to, we can see it even as fans who've watched it for years. We can see body language. We can see what the intent is. And they've always said that with tackles. Like you can see a hard tackle and know there's no intent. But then you can see another tackle and know there's intent.
Yeah.
This Carlos one, same with the
it's not as bad as Bruno, I don't think.
It's not as aggressive, but I understand when you're running alongside a player, let's say he's on your right arm comes out and you catch him.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Carlos spins to the left
and
from behind with the left arm.
Yeah. The ball's nowhere near everyone.
You can see the intent. He's not holding him off. He's spun around and from behind elbowed him. Forearmed him in the back of the head.
You're allowed to forearm, and that's what I don't like is that part of it. So to me, you just go, all right, well, forearm everyone.
Yeah,
because we're allowed.
Yeah.
But guess what? If Arsenal forearm someone in the Brighton game this weekend, they'll be sent off.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's not because it's Arsenal. It's just the inconsistency. The inconsistency are just not. They're not gonna. They've stuck to it.
Yeah.
And then they won't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the annoyance. And that's why I want to bring up other references as opposed to just ours. Like, for example, Matty Cash handballs it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a penalty given against us at Chelsea this year, Saliba.
Yeah.
When Mudryk heads it back across and it hits Saliba on his hand.
Yeah.
Facing the wrong way. And it's like behind him. Exactly the same as the Matty Cash Havertz head back across. And it's a penalty. And they're like, yeah, it's a clear penalty. But it wasn't even checked in ours.
No.
And again, this isn't because everyone's out to get Arsenal. It's just find the rules, write the rules down, because they've added these new rules. You know, the VAR one is the worst. I genuinely think you remove that quintessential rule at the top of all this, which is, can I overturn the ref's on-field decision? Get rid of the respect for the ref on the field.
Yeah.
We have more technology now. We don't need to have respect for that one ref. He should ref the game 99% of the game.
Yeah.
But don't care what he says on the field.
Like in any sport.
Yeah, in Europe they don't. In Europe they just get on with it. Like that's why in the Champions League I said we need to go for the Champions League, because there's no bizarreness in these officials. Like
the way they referee and the way they use VAR in the Champions League, I don't know why, but it's so efficient.
It's quick and it's respected, and we all just accept it. And the reason, again, when you think about these elbows and things like that, they've made this new rule. You can forearm, you can't elbow. A forearm's not a weapon, an elbow is a weapon.
Yeah.
When did we ever ask for this rule? Like, what? And it's like at the start of the season, they decided time wasting was the thing they were going after. Not punching to the people, not forearming to the back of the head. Not let's sort out the goal line technology or the lines technology on the byline. Let's not sort out what is really a handball, what is a red card. Let's just decide that we can't. What was it?
The forearm.
The forearm. Yeah, they were like, do you know what? The elbow is a weapon. And we're like, oh, no, you're right. I'm glad we're working on that. And then at the start of the season, that's what I was saying, was time wasting.
Yeah.
So they decided after all this, time wasting has to be sorted. And then what happened? Do you remember the Community Shield? About 7 or 8 players got booked.
Yeah.
Because they would nudge the ball. Even if you touched the ball after a foul was given against you, they would book you. You didn't have to kick it away. And all these Arsenal players and all these City players got booked. Then the first weekend of the season, they did it. Second week, nothing.
Yeah.
And then it just forgot about it. After 3-4 weeks, we played Crystal Palace. They sent off Tomiyasu. He's the only red card this season for time wasting.
Yeah.
He held the ball for 8 seconds on a throw.
Yeah.
The average throwing time is 27 seconds.
Yeah. And that's a big inconsistency. Like, they start the season with an idea, and then it detriments a couple teams.
Yeah.
And
that's what I mean. It doesn't detriment Arsenal. we're 1 point off the top.
Yeah.
We have a lot to complain about, but not a lot to complain about. We look back at that Sheffield United goal. The goal line technology wasn't turned on. Like, what? Yeah. And that cost them going down.
Yeah.
That's huge money. That's lost jobs. That's the manager they have now loses a job.
Again,
and then only takes 3 years to come back.
In any business, if one person doesn't do their job and it costs the business that much money, it's the end for that person, or it's the end for that job role.
Do you remember there was a few years ago where they said any touching in the box on a corner would be a penalty? And then, was it Burnley or someone that they got like 9 penalties given against them?
Yeah.
Over about like 6-7 weeks, which is constant penalties. And then they just went, oh, we can't do this anymore. It's too ridiculous. But they were the only team that got done by it.
Yeah.
And they went down.
Yeah.
And you just think, how is this fair? Like, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why I want to bring up examples from other teams. Why can you forearm those 2 Arsenal players in the back of the head, but Casemiro gets sent off for touching someone's chest? You know, why, can we, the Palace penalty, but then Jesus. The Jesus one, I think, when I saw it, I said, it's soft, but it's given now. Yeah. It was literally given earlier. And I was like, so I guess it is a penalty. They check it. Nah, no penalty. Why? And again, that is what's frustrating all the fans, is we don't know what is a penalty anymore. Yeah. So when you watch a game, you just laugh because you just think, well, we're not going to get that. Man United, Bruno, who was on the podcast, they got a penalty against Chelsea last week when they beat them 2-1, but they missed it. Yeah. It was the one that day, Joe and I were on the podcast talking about penalties where you can shoot and then literally a second later, if someone just punches you in the face, it's fine. You got the shot away.
Yeah.
And we joked about it because in the Luton game, Saka was throwing goal, passed it across, and as he went to pass it, the guy just wiped him out in the box. And everyone went, and even we did, we were like, that's not a penalty because he got the pass away.
Yeah.
And then we said, but Man United got this a couple of years ago, and we to this day I don't understand it.
Similar to how they started this season with the time wasting. It's like they started that season with the idea that you can't do that anymore.
And then went, we can't do it because it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
And Bruno Fernandes had the penalty at Chelsea, and literally it was the same thing.
Yeah.
He had a shot. I don't know who it was, Anthony, I think, on the edge of the box, and the guy literally stepped on his foot after he shot it.
Yeah.
Because the guy wasn't watching him; he was watching where the ball had gone.
Yeah.
And tread on his foot, and they gave it.
Yep.
And again, this is the examples that screwed Chelsea, that screwed us, that screwed Man United. This is screwed Tottenham at times. Liverpool have had a phantom goal. These inconsistencies are what are the big issue, and this game just highlights it. I think take away the goal. It's annoying. I think realistically it should have been 1-1 because we should have had a penalty either at the end or
a goal
or both. Would have been, realistically both would be nice. But I think it's right. Like what Elton Prince from WWE was saying. It was a weird one. The eye test told me we didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
But I mean, 2 clear decisions against us on that one.
And the stats.
And the complete domination. But something about it said Villa deserved it. And I don't know why. And that's what was odd. And I think it was down to, I think you have to just go, similar to, I think Simon said it to us, his dad said it about Luton, is because again, I don't like the decisions for us. I couldn't imagine being a bottom 6 team and the decisions that don't they, like we get all the decisions compared to those guys.
And it's way scarier at the bottom as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he was saying that very similar to like when you fight a champion, don't leave it in the judges' scorecards.
Yeah.
And I think this Villa game was the exact thing. We left it to the judges' scorecards and they didn't score it correctly.
Yeah.
And again, in a completely fair sport where the official's supposed to get everything correct, that shouldn't exist. It's like boxing, it shouldn't exist. You leave it to judges' scorecards. But that same rule that they do there, which is did he beat the champ and then they score it differently, is what they're doing with VAR, where they say, what did the ref give it? Can we overturn that? Who cares what the ref says? Figure out the right decision.
I think you go back some seasons where we didn't necessarily always look at XG or we didn't have VAR. On paper, top of the table clash like that was 2 good teams going in with good form. Villa go 1-0 up early and we don't put away our chances. And then on field, we're saying that on field, if the penalty was given, it would have been a penalty. And if the handball was given a handball on the field like it is a 1-1 game. Like if you go back to before we had all this confusion.
That's what I mean. One of those decisions should have gone some way. Like that should have been given a penalty. Because again, if he blows up for that penalty, no one would have complained.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have overturned it.
Yeah.
If he didn't blow up for the goal, they wouldn't have overturned it and no one would have complained. Because if we watch that replay back, if Villa would watch that replay back, they wouldn't have gone, how about handballs it? They would have just looked at it and gone, like if the ref never said anything, everyone would watch it and said, oh, Matty Cash handballs it and Havertz scores.
Yeah.
And somehow we've got to Havertz handballs it, no goal.
And no penalty.
Independent and no penalty. So it's frustrating. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not an Arsenal issue. It's a official wide thing.
Yeah.
At the minute, it's messing us over. And then in a minute, it's going to mess someone else over.
As long as it messes us over now and not later on in the season, I think we're golden.
If at the end of the season we look back and everyone goes, yeah, Newcastle game was rotten for you, wasn't it, with that decision? And that Villa game was rotten for that decision. Then they go, and the City away one was rotten for that decision. For example, the ones that haven't happened.
Yeah.
And we go, yeah. And then, but if then someone says, but do you remember when you beat Brentford and they got that apology, or you beat Brighton and they got that apology? But I bet you at the end of the season we'll have 3 apologies.
Yeah.
But I really do believe swings and roundabouts, and I'm hoping they get it right. Because again, it's not about that, is it? It's about getting it right. It's not about us.
Yeah.
I want us to get 3 favourable ones. But it would be nice to play City away and they get 2 early red cards for no apparent reason.
That'd be fantastic.
Because it would just help us.
Yeah.
So I get why teams aren't complaining. Like Villa, if I was a Villa fan, if that game had happened and we had won, I wouldn't be complaining. I think we had one at Leeds last year.
Yeah.
Where I think we gave away a penalty. There was one that we didn't give away a penalty, but it should have been. Gabriel should have been sent off, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And we won 1-0.
Yeah.
And I didn't complain. And that is the thing. And that's the same with the managers. And Arteta's ban, I think today is going to come into effect.
Okay.
So he got a second yellow for coming a yard out of his box.
To celebrate.
To celebrate a 97-minute winner, which they asked the Luton manager and he said, I would have crowd surfed. The same following 3 days, Sheffield United got their first win of the year, and Chris Wilder ran down the touchline and didn't get anything. Pep Guardiola rushed on and got in the face of the referee at halftime and got absolutely nothing. They are making a point of Arteta because he spoke out.
Yeah.
We said it when it happened. They'll wait 5 weeks to give the... This is the Newcastle game, by the way, for the ban.
Wow.
And we said it at the time. They will purposely wait till Anfield away to give him the decision.
Yeah.
And they'll ban him for the Anfield away. Here we are. We're about to find out. And I'm sure it's going to be he misses Anfield away.
Yeah.
And we knew it from the get-go. And again, it's more proof of what we know. The fact that he wanted to celebrate at 97th minute, ran a yard out, and Carlos Cuesta, our, one of our coaches, ran down and actively said, they're watching you, don't run down there. So he didn't even get to celebrate and still got booked.
So you could have...
he could have just celebrated.
But you could have also acknowledged that the staff did their job as well. You could have said, fair play, they tried to sort it out on the pitch. Let's not do it.
And this is a week where Roy Hodgson came out after that Liverpool game where it was they sent off a guy for, talking of inconsistency. Ayew did 2 fouls and he got a red card.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, do you remember the Palace game? We came on here and we spoke about it. Tomiyasu got sent off, but Ayew did 9 fouls.
Yeah.
That's what throws you off. And Roy Hodgson said, he was like, I won't miss any part of football.
Yeah.
And he's right. It's because of the way it's going. It's going to a point where that's how I felt after the Villa game. I was like, I'm not angry. I'm not really sad. We should have scored more. I was more just upset that the thing that I really enjoy, and we do a podcast about it.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no real, you can't beat it.
No.
No matter how good you are, for example, that game, no matter how good we are, and we created 2 big chances, a goal and a penalty. And other than that, missed about 5 sitters.
Yeah.
We still can't win that. And it's nothing to do with us. We take it on board and say, don't leave it to the judges. And we should have, that game shouldn't have cared about those 2 decisions because we should have won 4-1.
That's the key, yeah.
But that's also not the point of sport.
You shouldn't have to do that.
It should be within the rules.
It does.
So it's just, it gets to that point where you just go, what's the point? Because you just don't know. And guess what? Next week, we're going to come on the pod and we're going to talk about some bizarre decision.
Yeah.
From one of the games this weekend. And it was completely against what we saw this last weekend. And we're going to go, why?
Yeah.
And that's the frustrating.
I think all in all, in conclusion, if I'm being fair, there's no conspiracy against Arsenal.
No.
It's an overall officiating issue where it's too grey, so it needs to be way more black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But there is definitely a thing where they are focusing on Arteta a lot.
They are definitely after Arteta in a minute, and the reason is that he spoke out. And if, and he said after this, they were saying he had an all-timer press conference again, where he basically said, clear and obvious.
Yeah.
That was his answer to everything. And again, he's at a point now where he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't.
Yeah.
He came out and spoke about clearly bad decisions, and then his reaction got everyone's backs up, so everyone completely disagreed. There's a lot of people that believe that Newcastle goal was a good goal.
Yeah.
And it's almost funny because the ref has now said I should have given a free kick on the field because they wouldn't have overturned it, and I know that.
And again,
he was like, I knew it was a foul, but I wanted them to sort it, forgetting that the ruling is they can't overturn it unless I gave the foul.
Yeah.
So now he's made all those pundits look stupid because they've all come out and said, no, the ref's got it right, the ref's got it right. And then the refs come out and go, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
And we all knew that. Anyone who watched football, if that had happened against us, I would have gone, Jesus Christ, I have no clue how that goal was given.
Yeah.
That's the silliness. And he came out and spoke about that while also emotional immediately after a game, which is always never a good time for a manager.
They need to stop doing that.
But again, the issue is he spoke out and he thought everyone else was going to come with him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, 14 teams sent him letters after that and said, we stand with you, but no one did it publicly.
Yeah.
And then what's happened since? He's getting booked for coming out of his tech. All these things, people say Arteta spends the whole time out of his technical area. Ten Hag never was inside his technical area during Bayern Munich last night.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But Arteta is talked about. Klopp's talked about. Klopp's a nutter, but he does everything that Pep and Arteta does.
I do understand having to respect the refs. I do understand, like in any other sport, you respect the decision.
Mm-hmm.
But I also understand if someone's not doing their job right and something isn't right, which is all he said. Yeah. He said something needs to change, basically. I know he was angry.
Well, he said it was a disgrace. That's what they didn't like, the wording.
The wording.
But Haaland also made fun of the ref after a bad decision that wasn't like an immediate goal.
Yeah.
Or lost them the game or anything. It was a chance that they might have had, and there was no ban.
Yeah, but if someone, you have to say something. I agree that you shouldn't go after referees because there should be an all-round respect, but there isn't. And he has to point out when someone doesn't do their job right, the amount of work and money that goes into these games, everyone has to be doing their job right.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to leave it with the official on the field, and then VAR is just this side thing that helps out every now and then based on the referee's choice, that's a problem.
Yeah, it has to be in Europe. They will change the decision. Like the ref comes over to the screen. In Europe, you don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
We know if he comes over the screen, he has to change his decision.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
Yeah,
like we're making life hard. And that's what I mean. Like in the NFL, when a scoring drive happens, you check it. If anything was wrong, they just say, "Oh, it wasn't a touchdown."
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the refs gave on. If the refs are all on the field all agree touchdown, they don't go, but they gave touchdown. We can't overturn. They don't add this weird rule. They just say, you got it wrong. Go back.
Yeah. And
where do we go back? Go to the 2-yard line, put 13:03 on the clock. Okay, cool. And then they carry on.
And that's where it has to be overall changes. Because I think the referee for the Newcastle game, like we said, left it to VAR, which is, I think, how you should do it.
Yeah.
And then VAR then has to not necessarily go against the referee. The VAR
they just have to make a decision.
Has to literally make a proper decision. And then I think with this Aston Villa handball, I believe, no one said it yet, but I believe what the referee saw was the first handball, the potential handball from Havertz was the one where it hits his chest and his arm's here.
Yeah, he thinks that's the handball.
Because that's the only one he could see. That's literally...
Yeah, after that, he's behind players.
Because it took me a couple replays looking at that, because on the first replay I thought, it comes up and hits his arm. Okay, fair. Then a couple more replays, it hits his chest.
His chest is onto Matty Cash's arm. I think what he thought was he handballed it onto his arm.
Yeah.
But if he had said to them, the initial ball came in, Havertz handballs it onto Cash's arm.
Yeah.
They would have gone, okay. Then they would have checked it and got it. It comes off his chest and then hits Matty Cash's arm. And then the ref could have gone, it's a penalty then.
Yeah.
Just use common sense. Talk. Yeah. Talk to the ref, because the ref isn't involved in this conversation.
Yeah.
He basically says, here's my decision. And then they go away like little rabbits. And then they come back and go, we think you're right.
Yeah.
And then they carry on.
But the referee initially pigeonholes it. That's the problem. The referee initially says, I'm looking at this, look at this.
Yeah.
It should be more a case of the referee letting it happen and then going, something's wrong. Tell me if there's something wrong. And if there's not, it's a goal.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be.
Yeah. No, it does. There needs to be a big fundamental change. Like Roy Hodgson just saying like how sad he was about it. Yeah. It's true. And it's one of those weird ones. And a perfect example of swings and roundabouts, Liverpool phantom goal, and then they have that game. Again, none of this dictates the whole game. By the way, if you remember the phantom goal, they were already 1-0 down when they scored that one.
Yeah.
They were already 10 men down. Then they went 9 men down. They're probably going to lose that game anyway. Did this Palace game, does the red card really dictate them bringing it back to 2-1? It seems that way, but also they might have also still won 2-1.
Yeah.
So these decisions are swings and roundabouts. They're not always massive deciders. We shouldn't have left it to those decisions, and we have to start killing games that we are clearly in control of.
Yeah.
But they are out for Arteta, and I could see why. And he's become the scapegoat. He's the madman on the touchline, even though every manager does it. It's all getting a bit silly. And Hodgson was actually saying, he was like, he said, they can't get decisions right on the field, but if one of my coaching staff stands up to talk to me, they're screaming at him to sit down. And he was like, for whatever reason, they've got it in their head that that's a good rule, is that you're only allowed one coach to stand up at a time, or whatever it is. There's a rule, isn't there, on the touchline? So if you get a set piece, your set piece coach is allowed to stand up, but your manager has to sit down or something.
Yeah.
And apparently they're very adamant on these rules. Again, like the time was, they've decided this year that the big issue in football is that we have too many people standing up. And that stuff, like it's like someone brought this up. Arteta going to run to celebrate with his team.
Yeah.
It was a great moment.
Yeah.
Instead, he was held back, not allowed to do it, and then still got he might as well just pulled all his clothes off and then gone and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But same as the Bournemouth game, we got massive sanctions, fines, bans, all sorts because of the Bournemouth goal last year where we scored in the 98th minute, whatever, and everyone rushed onto the field, the managers, the players, everyone. Premier League went after Arsenal and really did a toll on them for that one thing. They also used that as a huge advert to sell the Premier League to other countries.
Yeah.
That moment. So they want you to do the moment because they get a load of money from those moments because they go, look how good the Premier League is. They show that moment. But in real time, they go, you're all banned. You're not allowed to do that. Why? When people score, when Liverpool score and Klopp, for example, Klopp last year when they scored Spurs went 3-0 and then he won 4-3 right after. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Richarlison just did the pigeon dance and then Liverpool scored straight away. He sprinted onto the field, sprinted down, got in the fourth official's phase, then got in the Tottenham manager's phase, then pulled his hamstring. And I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And even if you're a Spurs fan, you just belly laugh because it's just like, how this guy's such a nut. He's just pulled his own hamstring. And again, there's sanctions. So when the team scores, I want Jose Mourinho literally was brought to England for running down the touchline and sliding on his knees.
Yep.
And then once he came, they were like, "Don't you leave that technical area?" It's like, but that's what you wanted from it.
Yeah.
The fact that we sanction anyone celebrating is bizarre because that's what the whole thing's about. It's like celebration police when Arsenal last year, with 10 games to go, were celebrating with our fans in the corners. And it's like, they should do that after every game.
Yeah.
Even in the Carabao Cup, because those people have traveled and spent a lot of their own money to get there.
Yep.
So why would you then sanction them?
And not just that, on the flip side, the players, the work they put in that week to get to that moment.
Just celebrating's cool. Like, it's good. It's the best part. Like, it's good to see. Even when I'm watching Liverpool versus Chelsea, and let's say Chelsea score a last minute winner and they will start going to celebrate. It's good to see.
That's the joy of the game.
Yeah, I don't care, but it makes me happy.
I'd be more annoyed if they looked not bothered.
Yeah, well, that's what someone, Andy Gray and Richard Key said. Arteta said he struggles to not celebrate.
Yeah.
Now, like what he did when City played Arsenal and all those years and they were smashing them, he didn't get off his seat, did he? I was like, because he wasn't the manager.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to refrain when you're not the guy putting in a million hours of work and that is your team and your job relies on it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Leave them alone. Let everyone celebrate. I think even goals, get in the crowd, take your shirt off. Why are they getting booked? Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, they've got so much stock in the wrong areas.
Yeah.
But it's getting so frustrating. But hey, another week of football, another load of bad decisions to come. And we will move on to Prediction League. I can tell you, okay?
Yep.
I'll just check it to see if Simon is joining us because he is supposed to be. But I know he's recording a What Culture video for NXT. He hasn't said anything, but he has got. I'll say this. He hasn't read the message yet.
Busy boy.
He's a busy boy. But we are going to move on to it. This past week, we had the opportunity to get 20 points.
Okay.
Because we had 2 games. I can tell you, Simon got 6 out of 20.
Wow.
You got 7 out of 20. I got 11 out of 20.
Oh, my goodness. Over half?
And with that, Simon's now on 54.
Mm-hmm.
You're on 69.
Oh, my God.
I've jumped you to 71.
Oh, wow.
And I'll tell you, I had some week. I don't know where they are. Let me try to see if I can find them.
Try not to celebrate too hard.
No, I'm not allowed. So the last 2 weeks are, I think I've got them here. Villa played City. So these are some of the picks that I got, okay?
Yeah.
This is how happy I am. Somehow I didn't go West Ham to beat Spurs. But I had Everton to beat Newcastle, Villa to beat Man City, Man United to beat Chelsea. These are all things you and Simon didn't do.
Yeah.
Fulham to beat Forest, which they beat them 5-0,
Wow.
Or something like
that.
Yeah. Those ones.
That's impressive.
And then this week, I got a couple good ones as well. I can't remember what they were. I got Everton to beat Chelsea. I think that was mainly it. You got Bournemouth to beat Man United.
Yep.
I think that's mainly it. But some good ones in there, I think, that are worthy of the 11-point swing.
Oh, big time.
I've now won 6 weeks. Joe's won 7. Simon's won 2. But I'm winning by 2 points. I think we're going to go by the overall points as opposed to how many weeks you've won. Because again, did I win 2 weeks or did I win? I don't remember. So we'll just go by the overall points. But I mean, the total that we could have right now is about 130.
Yeah.
Maybe more than that, 150. And we have 70.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to pick.
This season has been really hard anyway.
Saying that, I mentioned it on the preview podcast on Saturday. I was on 8 points already after 1 week.
Wow.
So I got 8 out of 10 first week. So that means I only got 3 this week. So I think we all got about 3-2 in this week, but last week I got 8, and that was the difference maker.
Yeah.
So I stopped putting myself over now.
It's well deserved, you know.
Hey, this set of weeks, now I think we're already at an hour. We've got some good games, some average games. The pick of the bunch is right at the end there, Liverpool versus Man United.
Yeah.
We got a Friday night game this week. Where we got Forest versus Spurs.
That's fun.
So you're the guy that goes Forest to win every week.
I do, yeah. I'm starting to worry about that now.
Do we think Spurs are back after their win against Newcastle? I don't know. I really don't know. I think they were good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Newcastle were very poor.
Yeah.
Forest got a draw this week. They kept their manager, Steve Cooper, in charge for another week.
Yeah.
This is the kind of game they have to be. I don't know enough about Forest if he's maybe lost the dressing room and the crowd, and this is that game that gets him sacked.
Yeah.
Or whether this is the game that, similar to Arsenal going to Forest in the run in last year, and we lost 1-0.
Yeah.
That galvanizes them. And the crowd are up. Friday night is always a tough. If I was Spurs, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, going to Forest is not a fun one either.
I think I'm going to go 1-0 Forest.
Okay. I think with Spurs in the Newcastle game, I think they showed up for what was a big game.
Mhm.
I think they haven't quite got it all put together yet.
Mm.
Forest definitely in a weird spot right now, but I don't agree with Cooper being on the chopping block for this, because he has made them what they are.
They were in that relegation zone all last year, and he got them out right at the end. And then this year, we were saying after 5-6 weeks, they're not in trouble this year.
Yeah.
They're going to come mid-table. And all of a sudden, they're dropping into trouble.
Yeah.
And that is why he's on the chopping block, because they're kind of thinking, is all he can do is just keep them just out of the relegation zone, and they want to. They spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
They want to push on, but who would you bring in?
I think at this point, I think you have to stick with Cooper.
Mhm.
Like, I think he is a focal point of that team.
Yeah.
Even after the Fulham game, he went over with the players, didn't he, and stuck his hands up to the fans and said, "That's on me." Like, don't. And clearly, he made a choice in that match tactically.
And he felt a bit defeated, didn't he? Because he said, "I don't know if I'm the right man anymore. I'll let them decide."
Yeah.
So he's a little bit.
Because on paper, you'd expect Forest to beat Fulham. So he clearly made a choice in that game that didn't work.
Yeah.
Which, again, if he's going to hold his hands up and say, "That's on me, I made a choice, didn't pay off," I think you have to just stick with the manager on that, because I think that's down to him to make the right choices in the right games. I think Forest will win this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on that one, because I don't think Spurs are firing. I think they played a big game against a big team, and they did it. They got it right. I'm going to go Forest 2-1.
2 home wins. Obviously, if Simon doesn't join us before the end, where we get his quick fire guesses, we'll get him before next week. We're actually all together on the Saturday this week.
Oh, we are.
So I don't know if we might throw together a tiny little podcast while we're all together on the old phone or something like that, even if it's 20 minutes, because it's very rare we're all in the same room to be able to talk about football. And there is a wrestler on that show, Damien Corvin.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big Arsenal fan. And the last show we were at, we spent about 2 hours talking about Arsenal. So who knows what could happen. If Simon's, all 4 of us are going to be there, 4 Arsenal fans at the UPW show. Tickets still available. So we're on to the Saturday games now. And the first one is the 3 o'clocker. There's only 3 o'clockers.
Yeah.
Plus a 5:30. It is Bournemouth v Luton.
Okay.
This is some game. I think Bournemouth are really good.
They are, yeah.
And they're really firing. I'm going to go straight off about 2-0.
Okay. It is a tough one, because Luton,
they're showing something. Those, you won't find 2 more redeeming 2 losses in a row.
Yeah.
Than what they did at the week. They lost 4-3 to us, 2-1 to Man City. They were up in both games.
Yeah.
Late on in both games.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I think that's 2 teams that, on paper, you'd think are going to struggle, but they've got a bit of fight in them, both of them. But away, I think, is different. I think Luton at home,
atmosphere.
There's a fight there. I think Luton away to Bournemouth, and the way Bournemouth are playing, and you can't stop Solanke.
Well, this is it.
I think that's going to be a Bournemouth win. I'm going to go 3-1 Bournemouth. I think they get goals.
They do, yeah. They're coming into their own big time. Next, we've got Chelsea versus Sheffield United.
Okay.
I think this could be the day Chelsea, not click as in now going forward, they're going to click, but they do have these days where just it does go right for them.
Yeah.
It can't get worse. If they lose this, Pochettino has to go.
Oh, there's a problem there, yeah.
Because we were talking for a long time about Man United and Chelsea and how one has potential, one doesn't.
Yeah.
Then you look at the league table, you would rather be where Man United and Chelsea do. Chelsea's form is they've played 38 and got 38 points.
Okay.
If they were to do that in a league season, this is over the last 38 games, that carries over 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You would go down.
Yeah.
40 points is the safety point.
Yeah,
they have 38 from 38.
Yeah, there are potential 38 draws on paper.
That really is. Enzo Fernandez, who was bought for 105 million, has a win percentage with them of 13%.
Yeah.
This is not a bad patch of form. They've become bad. And, world-class manager, world-class players. I don't know what is going wrong.
I can't figure out.
Pochettino, I think, is doing the right thing. He said the best case scenario this year is mid-table.
Yep.
We need to figure out the form, the formula, the players, the style. We need to do that. That's what this year's about now. And I think that's right. I think break it all the way down, bring in a couple youth. It can't get worse. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, they're going to win enough games to stay up. I do believe that.
Yeah.
But why keep playing the same thing and keep trying? You know, if you're going to have stock in Mudryk, play Mudryk every single game.
Yeah.
Give him the game time. If he ends up at the end of the season with 1 goal, 2 assists, fine.
Then you know.
But he's got the game time in. Yeah, exactly. And then you either know where you stand next year. But they need to get something together here. But I do think they could win this. Like, I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have weeks where they're just going to win a game. And then they went away at Burnley, I think, and won 4-1 recently.
Yeah.
But then they went home to Brentford and lost. And then they go away to Man United and lose. They go to Everton and lose. And again, Everton are just a super team anyway. But
they seem to be.
Sean Dyche.
The Dyche
he wanted, you know, that gag of I asked my landlord to put my rent up because I just embraced the grind that hard. That's Sean Dyche. He was like, give us a 10-point deduction. I want to prove a point.
This one's odd because Chelsea are in a weird spot. Sheffield United,
new manager bounce.
They're coming up a little bit now, but that can only last so long.
Yeah.
And against the quality that Chelsea have, I think Chelsea will win that one.
Okay.
I don't think it'd be by much. I think it'd be tight. I think 1-0 Chelsea.
Okay. The next one is City versus Palace. 3 o'clock at the Etihad against a very out of form Palace.
Scary.
Yeah. Haaland hasn't trained, but they believe he'll be back Thursday, so tomorrow.
Okay.
So he won't be in the Champions League tonight. But they said he'd be training. So you'd think he'd be back for the game, maybe not starting, but at least on the bench, unless they're really like keeping us in the dark with it and it's actually a worse injury. But I think this is going to be 5-0 with or without Haaland.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the end of Hodgson. I think this is a big one.
Yeah. On paper, again, I like Palace and I like them as a team. I like the whole setup and I like Hodgson. I'd like to think that they could put up a fight, but they haven't shown me anything. I think this is going to be City too strong. I think I'm going to go 4-0 City. I don't think they've got enough.
Yeah, it doesn't look right, does it?
No.
Newcastle versus Fulham.
Okay.
Now, this is a team out of form and a team in form.
Yeah.
And it's not the ones you expect.
No.
Fulham away from home, Newcastle, big atmosphere. Like Chelsea, I really believe Newcastle are due a big win.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like probability tells me they can't just keep losing.
No.
And they won't. But they've got a huge game tonight. They somehow get through.
Yep.
Can they get through? If something were to happen that would lift them, they could become an issue.
Yeah.
Because this is
but again, they're gonna have to leave it all on the pitch tonight, I think.
Yeah, they're home to AC Milan. There's gonna be a massive atmosphere tonight.
Yeah.
Their table is.
I do believe they're in a similar spot to United, aren't they? Do they need a win and another thing to draw?
Where are they?
Either way, they're going to have to leave it all out there, unlike what Man United did last night.
So if they beat Milan, they need PSG to lose.
Yep.
Is the only way for them to get through.
Okay, so it's in their hands, but out of their hands.
Yeah, if they were to, they have to win minimum, and then PSG have to lose to Dortmund, or if they draw, Newcastle would have to win by 3 goals.
Yeah.
So it's better than what Man United had, I think.
I'd put money on bet.
And PSG are away to Dortmund, by the way.
That's what I mean. I'd put money on it, bet responsibly, but I'd put money on Newcastle going through. Like I can see that playing out. I could see Newcastle getting a win, and I could see Dortmund causing PSG problems because PSG aren't.
You got to remember as well. The only thing I'd say is Dortmund need a draw minimum to guarantee top spot, and they'll be very desperate because again, if PSG win, they can knock Dortmund off the top spot.
Yeah.
Dortmund do not want to lose that. So therefore, it's not like Dortmund like Arsenal doing a dead rubber where they're just not going to do anything.
No.
They need to win that. So it'd be interesting, but I think it'll be a draw, Dortmund and PSG.
Yeah.
And I think Newcastle will win and it'll come down to goal difference. But again, Newcastle need to win also to stay in Europe in general, just to make sure, because AC Milan can overlap them.
Yeah.
And they go out of everything like Man United. But again, if they do somehow get through, I think they'll ride that adrenaline for a while. They are so depleted on injuries, though.
They're either going to ride the adrenaline or they're going to be knackered.
And this is Fulham, who are 10-0 up over last 2 games.
Yeah.
Scored 10, conceded none.
I'd say on paper, obviously, it looks like Newcastle winning that, but I think the way it is at the minute, Fulham on the come up, Newcastle are going to be shattered.
Yeah.
Um,
You going to go Fulham?
I'm going to go Fulham. I was going to go Newcastle, but
I was going Newcastle. I've gone draw 2-2.
I've talked myself out of it.
What's the score?
I think Fulham are going to win that 2-1.
1-2. Burnley v Everton, the Sean Dyche derby.
Fantastic.
Burnley have turned it around ever so slightly with a couple draws, but Everton, I say this, if they didn't have the 10-point deduction, they'd be 3 points clear of Chelsea.
That's nuts. To be fair, they're fighting against the deduction, so there is some fight there that they know they have to.
I don't know what this game's got. I think, you know, I'm just going to say, I think Everton will win 1-0.
Yeah, I think that's a very safe bet. I don't think Burnley have enough. Yeah, that Everton team, I think they're going to win. I'm going to say 3-0.
Yeah, they've got something about them. Again, it's like, they've been galvanized. West Ham versus Wolves, another tough one because Wolves are a really good side.
Yeah.
West Ham have been choppy. They've lost a few, they've won a few. Then to lose the way they did this past weekend to Fulham 5-0, they're going to demand something, that crowd. This is awkward because I do still believe Wolves are a really good side who can't score.
Yeah.
And West Ham are a team that are really poor who can score.
Yeah.
So, which tells me it's a draw. So I'm going to go draw. I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going safe there because that is just so hard to figure out.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go draw, and I think it's going to be 2-2.
Okay. The next game is Brentford v Villa. Brentford are so depleted. They've got mass injuries.
Yeah.
Villa have been so good, but I say this, Villa were knackered at the end of the Arsenal game. Then they got a game tomorrow in the Europa, and then they've got Brentford at the weekend. Yeah. This isn't ideal for them. They're going to get tired. It's a small squad.
Yeah.
Emery works them extremely hard. We know that. They will allow shots on goal.
Yep.
I just don't know where the goals are going to come from for Brentford because of the injuries. This is so hard to go. Because of Villa being so good, I'm just going to say Villa win.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. That could go anyway because Villa worry me. They could be a Leicester. Well, I remember the year Leicester won the league. Every time they would beat like Man United and they beat City, and I was just like, these are all good. At least they're taking points off the other four.
Yeah.
And we beat them twice that year.
Yeah.
And you thought that eventually they're going to drop off, so at least they'll win now.
Yeah.
So now we're at the minute going, I hope Villa beat City. I hope Villa beat whoever. But then you're going, wait a sec, Villa need to lose.
Yeah, they're gaining momentum now.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think, because I still think City will just comfortably win the league by the end. But Villa are definitely in a title race.
Oh, for sure.
Because if we were last year, supposedly to everyone, Villa are as well.
Yeah.
So
you can't discount what they've been doing.
But I do think Villa will have some choppy weeks. Emery just does that. They'll lose 6-0 around it. They lost, 5-6-1 first day of the season to Newcastle?
Yeah.
They will have weird days because they play such a high line. Similar to Tottenham, you're either going to play really well or you're going to get battered.
Yeah, someone's going to figure that out.
But I just don't think Brentford in this moment are that team. So I'm going to go Villa to win just 1-0 because I think they are. If they win 1-0, that'd be 3 1-0s in a row, 3 clean sheets against Arsenal, Man City, and Brentford. That'd be very impressive.
That's really impressive. Yeah,
that is winning league like style. That's what Leicester did that year. They won 1-0 every game.
Yeah, and fair play to Villa. Like this string of games that they put together is really impressive. And if they can come out of the City, Arsenal, Europe game,
Brentford away as well,
and this all with wins, no doubt they're in the title race. Like they're probably one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be very tired, but I don't feel like they're going to show the tiredness. I think Villa will win this, and I think they'll win it fairly comfortably. I'm going to say 3-0 Villa. I think this. I don't think they're going to show the tiredness like we think they are.
Cool. The next one is Arsenal-Brighton.
Okay.
So notoriously, last 3 years, this has been an awful game.
Yeah.
I think we've lost all 3 home games against Brighton.
Yeah.
We don't work great with Brighton. They've got a short week as well with the Thursday game.
Yeah.
They are definitely struggling with the concept of Europe and a smaller squad. And again, what they did last year was so good with a small squad because they didn't have the extra games.
Yeah.
I think the small squad shows once you start having 60 games a year kind of area. They are being pretty inconsistent. They're still a great side. Still great manager De Zerbi.
Battle of the brains, this one.
Yeah, but I'd like to think, coming out of a loss, there's going to be a reaction. We rested a lot of players.
Yeah.
We should be strong. There's a 7-day gap after that game.
Yeah.
So the maximum best 11 should play that we have available. and then should play again the week after.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be too much. I think we're going to win 2-1. I think it's going to be one of these weird. This season, we've got this weird thing with home games against mid-table teams and Europe teams, like a 6th, 7th kind of area. What we like to do is go 2-0 up, and then concede a goal near the end, and then it becomes terror. Like not Forest the first day of the season, Wolves a couple weeks ago. We did it against Fulham, but ended up actually drawing that game 2-2 at home. This feels like it's either going to be 2-1 or 2-2.
Yeah,
I would love it to be a big reaction and we win 3-0. That's what it needs going into Anfield, because if you lose this after Villa and then go to Anfield, we're looking at dropping down to 4th and 5th, and questions are going to be asked.
And it's all on the Champions League.
And all of a sudden, the quote unquote playing badly becomes we're just bad, and not we're really secure and we are winning.
Such a fine line.
It is such a fine line, because points wise, we're ahead of where we were last year.
Yeah,
but we're still not top. So,
I think, if I'm looking at this realistically and not with like a nervous feeling, I think we win this. I think this Arsenal team's too strong. Brighton are random.
They are really random this year.
But I think with how strong we are at not conceding chances and stuff, I don't think we're going to allow them to do too much.
Yeah.
I think you're spot on with the score. I think 2-1. I feel like I've gone 2-1 Arsenal in most games this season.
I think we've gone almost exactly the same, except for one game. So
there's a reason for that, because of the week you had.
You follow me, eh? I should start.
There's no devil's advocate this week, I'm afraid.
Yeah, hasn't been, has it? Liverpool versus Man United. Bruno Fernandes is missing.
Yep.
This is I think the poop will get off the pot.
Yeah.
This is the Ten Hag moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone's looking at 7-0 last year. I don't think it's going to be 7-0. Liverpool do concede. I do think Man United will score. Without Fernandes, I think that is a huge loss.
Yeah.
I think someone like Garnacho could step up and get a goal.
Yeah.
You'd hope Højlund, Scott McTominay.
Oh, yeah, always.
But I don't know. The Man United that last night against Bayern Munich was awful. It wasn't. As a United fan, the loss isn't a problem. It's the fact that nothing happened.
They didn't really do anything.
They never really just went balls to the wall and went, we have to win this, and tried something and ended up losing 2-0.
Yeah.
They just kind of, like, there was no real chances.
They're playing a little bit.
They didn't do anything.
They're playing a little bit now, like they want the manager change.
So I talked about this. I don't know if it was with you or whether it was the solo pod, but I was talking about the red line in which managers hit. And you remember with Emery?
Yeah.
What would happen is everyone was like, I think he's going to get sacked. But then he'd win a few and you'd just leave it. Then he'd lose one and everyone would go back to, is he going to get sacked?
Yeah.
But you almost needed him to lose 3 in a row to kind of warrant it.
Yeah.
So you were, as a fan, going, I don't want to lose, but if we're going to do this, can we just get on with it?
Yeah, we need to change it.
But the only way to get on with it is to lose.
Yeah.
Because the owners won't just, right now they should sack Ten Hag today.
Yeah.
Bring in a new manager like for 3 days.
And get the bounce.
Yeah, and get a random, an ex-player in there, Scholes or I don't know.
Just to get them all fired up.
Just put the bloody class 92 in the dressing room.
Cantona down there, see what happens.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? That's what you might as well, as a fan. You're like, well, if you're going to sack him, why do we have to go through the misery of, because guess what? They lose to that. Then they go, if it's like a 1-0 loss, they go, it's bad, but they did win against Chelsea. And
it was Liverpool.
Yeah, and then they go, all right, have another week. And then the week after he wins, but narrowly, but playing badly. And they go, oh, okay. But as a fan, you're like, he now has to lose 3 in a row to warrant a sacking. So you've got to experience another 3 games knowing the inevitable's coming. Yeah. And there's a red line in which they drop the line, which they can't get back from. And I think he is there now.
It is.
There's no way he's the manager at the end of the season.
No.
So just get on with it.
It is really similar to the Emery situation we were in, because he's
clearly a great coach.
On paper, like, they're in form. Like, there's no real reason factually to get rid of him.
Emery was the first manager to get us into the top 4.
Yeah.
And he just failed. He lost the last 3 games. And everyone blamed him, but it could have been.
But you could see with the eye test, when you see the games, something's not right. Like, he is getting wins, but it's just all wrong. Everything's wrong.
Because if you think about it, Ten Hag won a trophy, got to another cup final last year, and got him back in the Champions League, and this year it's got worse. I think I saw Neville's podcast with Carragher and Keane and Wright. What's that one? I can't remember what it's called. The Overlap? No. Is it?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
they had Stam on there, the former Man United centre back.
Yeah,
and he asked him about it. He said the same. He said last year he had a great season.
Yeah,
to win a trophy. To buy yourself some time. He got another cup final he lost. And he got back in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And he didn't play the way he wanted to, but we have to give him time.
Yeah.
there is no signs of them starting to play that way.
No.
This is now the issue.
Yeah.
Because they're in form, which means they can win games.
Yeah.
You bring in a really experienced, like an Ancelotti type, or a can't think of his name right now, Allegri.
Yeah.
An old Italian coach who's going to just go, do you know what? I don't care how you play, but you're going to be structured.
Yeah.
Because you can clearly win games when you're structured, which they have this year. He'll take them to finals because Ten Hag did it with an awful style.
Yeah.
So it's like a blessing and a curse, that job, because you're eventually going to get sacked because something's going to be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also the team's there to win stuff. That's a world-class squad. Everyone's ripping into it because they've spent so much money and it's awful. It's not awful. They spent a load of money, yeah, but the team isn't bad. They just need to play correctly. And that's coaching. Look, the Villa team that Emery is coaching into top 2, top 3 territory is the team that Gerrard had.
Yeah.
That shows you what coaching does.
Yeah.
And everyone said that is an awful squad that they spent too much money on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everyone's saying it's the best squad in the league.
Yep.
That's coaching.
Yeah.
And as much as everyone thinks Ten Hag's a great coach, and I do as well, he didn't coach that right. And maybe it's too much for him. Similar to Emery, maybe Ajax is his level. Maybe if he went and became Lyon manager or Monaco or Inter Milan, I'm trying to think, Atletico.
Yeah.
That level just below it, but should be in the Champions League, should be winning leagues, maybe.
Yeah. But
it's not a guarantee. Because obviously Man United is the biggest job in the world.
Yeah. A lot of pressure.
Maybe it's too much. He wants that team that have a good youth level. You know, Arsenal is that team. Like I think, you know, I don't want Ten Hag, obviously. I'm happy with Arteta, but he's similar to Arteta. Maybe that was the level he wanted. A good youth setup, some youth coming through, not massive overheads, not silly signings, not bad ownership. He needs a team that are just galvanized.
Yeah.
And I think, like if Simone went to Man United and he went to Atletico, I think he'd do great.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So I think he just has a level, and maybe this is too much for him. But again, to find a manager good enough for the biggest job in the world, I don't know.
Well, they haven't found it since Ferguson.
Yeah, and I don't think Ferguson was it.
No.
He wasn't. They gave him 2 seasons and he was awful. And then they stuck with it and he became good. Then he made them as big as they are now.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe they need to just completely eradicate the Ferguson era.
And accept what they are.
And accept that they are now a top 6 team.
Yeah.
That are really known. And therefore manage it accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it'll take a long time for people to understand that because most people that are fans are people that have grown up with it.
Yeah.
So back to the game.
Yep.
Liverpool good. They concede a lot. Man United, I don't think Liverpool are worthy of top at the minute. I think they're okay.
Yeah.
They're going to lose Salah for 3 weeks in January, which is going to be tough for them.
True.
I don't know. They kind of crept in there. They don't seem...
Well, the eye test, even when you watch them, is I can't figure out...
Bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Like,
yeah, which is quite nice because they're just bizarre.
Yeah.
Because of that, I think Man United are in with a shout,
Yeah.
and it would be hilarious because then Ten Hag keeps his job for another 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then it all goes. It's all just going to linger. But I think I do. I really don't know. I don't think it's as easy as just saying Liverpool 2-0.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Liverpool 2-0. But I really don't think it is just that simple.
I was hoping for a devil's advocate there, but it seems that we've...
What you doing?
I'm going to go Liverpool.
Okay.
I'm going to say Liverpool 4-0.
Okay. I think we're all expecting it. I think United fans are expecting it, but I don't think it's actually as cut and dry as it looks on paper at the minute.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those that could surprise us.
Well,
I could easily see Man United winning that.
I could sense the devil on my shoulder looking over it going, go on then. And even he was a bit like, I don't know.
Well, this is it. I think Man United winning that.
Yeah.
I'm changing it. No, I'm not. We'll find out Simon's predictions and we'll add them before next week. We are meeting him on Saturday. He still hasn't read that message, so he's a busy boy. We're meeting him on Saturday, so I'm just checking. No, nothing. So maybe we'll throw a little something together just to throw up on Sunday or something like that. I don't know what it would be because when are we playing Sunday? Maybe we hit a little preview pod with Simon in person, maybe, if we have time. That would be nice.
Yeah.
If we could find 15 minutes just to do that and just throw it up on the feed. But if not, make sure you're subscribed here, wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us a 5-star review. Let your friends know. Please download the episodes. Hey, if you download today's episode and you're still listening, go back and download every episode we've ever done. It costs you nothing, and it looks great on my algorithm. And if not, we usually have a visual up on Brothers or YouTube. We're not sure if we're making a Gunners or Us YouTube yet. We got some options coming up, but for now, we're just trying to get you out the audio ear rolls and getting them full every single week. And we're starting to add the odd extra. So if you ever want to do a little extra or anything like that, if something pops up, there's nothing really newsworthy this week, I don't think. I can't imagine anything is. A little preview on Sunday, maybe when we're together, but
something will happen.
Something might happen, but again, it'll be more towards next week. But the Anfield week is going to be a horrible week. So hopefully next Wednesday you'll have Joe, myself, Simon talking about an easy Brighton win. And we're going in full of confidence into Anfield, who just stumbled against Manchester United, but Ten Hag still got sacked. And we've got a lot to talk about. But until then, enjoy your week. Joe, do you have an outro?
I have a little one, yeah.
A little, just a little one.
Just a little subtle one.
I won't turn you off. I apologize. I turned him off last week. If you listen to it, it was fine because I found a second recording. If you watched on YouTube, it just cuts off here.
Yeah.
Anyway, you go on. You're obviously in your zone, so I'll let you finish.
Okay, so picture this. Kai Havertz is walking through North London with a little cone of chips, while a big Matoma-sized seagull has flown north, hoping to steal those chips. But what he doesn't know is Saliba is lurking in the shadows, ready to protect those chips and slap that Matoma-sized seagull all the way down to the south coast. Come on, Arsenal!
I thought you said it was short. A little one.
It's just a little cone, yeah. He's got to be ready for the game, isn't he?
Oh.